Hello and welcome to Creative Lounge. My name is Ahmed Bello, and today's episode of Creative Lounge has with us a very versatile artist and a designer. He goes by the name of Obiechina Stine John. You're welcome to Creative Lounge.
Thank you.
Um, I know you've been painting for a while and you studied sciences, chemistry to be precise. So, how did you find yourself painting?
Uh, Long before chemistry, I was painting.
Okay.
I did it for fun, just drawing. I was always fascinated by art, something that is, like paintings. They are quiet and entertaining at the same time. So it's kind of the entertainment that you bring to your mind by viewing something, but not just entertainment. It's entertainment that throws you into a certain level of depth and thinking.
Okay.
You know, it arouses your emotions.
Mm.
So yeah, before chemistry, I was already an artist. So
How are you able to create the balance, between science and art? Do you think there's a relationship between the two?
it's the same thing.
Mm.
I think everything is art. I think when you look at science, it's artistic because it involves observation. It involves critical thinking.
Mm.
It involves a lot of studying and research. This is the same thing we do as artists too, because for every art piece you need to learn, you need to study what you're doing, you need to observe it, you need to take your time with it, you need to spend your time with it, because it's a two-way street. When you're observing, you're also observing yourself. So part of you comes into play, as well as part of what you're observing comes into play. A relationship is built.
Yeah.
Because to create the piece, you have to understand as well that you have your capabilities as an artist creating it, and you can only go a certain limit with what you want to create. So whatever you're creating is related to your level and your capacity of creativity. Someone else can, observe the same thing and create something higher or different
Yeah.
from a different perspective.
Come to think of it, the art of mixing colors is chemistry too.
Yes, pretty
Getting
much it
results,
is.
mixing primary and secondary colors and
Yes.
getting results, that's
Yes.
chemistry. Yeah, I noticed your palette, you use a lot of bright colors. Is there a
Yeah.
reason why?
And how I see it is that both, to me, there is no actual, how do I put it? There's no distinction entirely in colors. They are all tones to me.
Okay.
So you are aware of darkness because there's light. Okay, so if there's no light, you don't even know there's darkness there. You just know it's just nothing.
Yeah, space. Yeah.
So the bright colors complement the dark colors.
Okay.
Most times when I use them in my work, it's because I want people to see the gradients between how the dark graduated into the light. That blend is what I like. So certain times I've made paintings that the colors are very toned down,
Okay.
and you could see glimpses of the bright side. And then, I've also made paintings that the colors are very pronounced. And but you can't just have an all-out pronounced color without the presence, of something dark
For balance.
for balance. Exactly.
So I noticed you love to explore, human relativity, expressions. How do you navigate the balance between your own artistic expression and universal theme?
Well, I don't know. I can't speak for every other artist, but I like to believe we share a similar understanding and a similar view of
Okay.
how everything is. But I don't think there's a difference between me and my universal environment.
Okay.
I think I am both my universal environment and I am part of it at the same time.
Okay.
I can express myself individually and as a part.
Okay.
So I don't know if that makes sense, but I see it like take for example, certain fruits are shaped like human organs.
Mm.
You have a mango shaped like a kidney.
Mm.
You have certain grains shaped like your organs too.
Mm.
You bleed.
Mm.
Every other thing around you bleeds. The tree bleeds. Uh, you're a speck of dust
Mm.
that clustered from a group of cells that are going to come together.
Yeah.
And so you're no different from the rock or the sand. So if you want to look for the relativity and the balance, there's almost no relativity or balance. It's just one thing. It's just when we see it from where we stand, it looks
Yeah.
like so many things. But an astronaut in space does not see those different things. He sees one globe,
Mm.
one planet. So it's one thing. In it, just the way if you go in your body, your stomach acid is separate from
Yeah.
your arteries and veins, but
Yeah.
they're one thing, they're one body,
Mm.
you know. And everybody's playing their part, doing their part. So I don't think about it as, me trying to find a balance. I see it as one thing.
Mm. Okay.
I think that automatically creates the balance.
Mm.
So for humans to have it to be able to, live here, you
Yeah.
need bees.
Mhm.
Bees are responsible for part of, a major part of everything that's going on our planet.
Yeah.
Bees are majorly responsible. So you need bees, and just as you need them, the plants need them to pollinate. This is you realizing that an external force,
Mm.
whether tiny or great, is also, part and parcel of you. It's not part of your organs. Bees are not part of your organs, but for them to make plants grow, they are responsible for pollination, a world of pollination. So if you remove bees from the equation of humanity and life on Earth, let's say, you have destroyed the human race, something as tiny as a bee. So that tells you that everything is tied to everything. Everything is responsible for everything.
Mm.
Now, when the bees are likely facing extinction, you have been given the intelligence,
Mm.
you know, consciousness, awareness to know how to save something that is dying.
Mm.
And so you see man creating processes where they can work with bees and save bees.
Yeah.
And that is symbiotic. That is relationship. That is balance automatically. When you look at it from a distance,
Yeah.
it's artistic.
Cool. I like your approach to that. What would you say is your most explored theme in most of your pieces?
Sorry, coming.
Your most explored themes, what would you say it is in most of your pieces? What theme would you say you love to explore most?
There's one theme I have not entirely. I have explored it,
Mm. Okay.
but the challenge most times is trying to understand if the viewer can appreciate what they're seeing.
Okay.
Okay. So I have tried exploring human consciousness, human emotions, human relativity,
Mm.
you know, to the immediate planet and to the world beyond. When I say the world beyond, I don't mean spiritual or anything. I mean like, the world as such.
At large.
At large,
Okay.
yes. Because you don't dive into a well you don't see yet
Mm.
when there's one right in front of you. So the first thing we are seeing is here, and we don't know everything about here first.
Mm.
So I don't like going out to the whole
So
Yeah.
rim you're not very used to.
So I've explored, those themes, and the one that really, really, really gets me
Yeah.
is the fact that I have a pictorial image in my mind of how one is connected to
Mm.
every single thing around him in perfect harmony, whether you call it sadness, pain, suffering, death, life. As human beings, we envisage that life ought to be the most beautiful thing for each and every one of us.
Yeah.
But that can't be. It can't be, because it's as good as saying an ant. A single ant is wishing that termites never attack their colony.
Mm.
But it is for the greater good that the termites should attack their colony,
Mm.
because life and death has to be balanced.
Mm.
That
Yes.
that's
Altering nature.
exactly, you're altering nature, because man man only recognizes the good man because the bad man exists.
Mm.
So if all men are good, how do you know they are good?
If there are no bad ones.
If there are no bad ones, because the bad ones bring the presence of the good ones. Just like there is day because night comes.
Yeah.
Where there is no night, you experience 24 hours day. In such a place existed for 100 years, they will tell you there is no such thing as night, because all they have is day.
Mm.
So they won't even know what night is until you show them. Same situation you have in this case. Yeah, it is sad that bad things happen, but it is a necessity.
Mm.
It keeps a check on us. So from an artistic point of view, in terms of painting that image that that explains how one is related to everything around him, you know, life and death, how you right now are practically unconsciously responsible
Mm.
for someone else's death somewhere. You may not know you are, but you are. A single tiny decision triggers a chain reaction that happens.
There's a butterfly effect.
Yeah.
Mm.
So it looks like, from as when we do certain studies, at least I've been opportunity to be a scientist one time in my life. And so from observation in the lab, you can tell that we are capable of influencing the decision of a mouse or a rat. You know,
Mm. Yeah.
does that rat know it's being influenced? No, it doesn't. It thinks it's making a choice at the moment. But from an external point,
Mm.
we are creating the whole chaos around it. It doesn't know it's in an experiment. So if you right now were being influenced to do something by an external force
Yeah.
that you can see or you have no knowledge of, you did think, what? This is my doing.
Then how do you come up with the stories in your pieces?
Well, believe it or not, the stories most time comes after the piece.
Okay.
So most of my exhibitions, I don't know what to paint till I've painted, and then the story comes up. So it's a surrender into the work. It's not like a commission,
Okay.
because commissions, you know what you're doing. Okay, you have an idea what you're doing. But if someone says, okay, we are exhibiting something about life, about flowers, it's about flowers, but if you completely surrender yourself into that feeling,
Yeah.
that artistic feeling, you find yourself seeing so many perspectives of a flower.
How do you think your paintings are perceived by the viewer? What do you think is the perception of your paintings
From the viewer's point.
from the viewer's point?
Uh, I can only say what people have, told me.
Okay.
You know, the first one is usually your works are provoking.
As
Yeah.
it should be.
As it should be. Yeah. Provoking. Certain times I've done subtle pieces. People say the works are different, beautiful. Uh, but I think, when I sit most times at my exhibition, I don't even tell most people I'm the artist. I just watch them look at the work.
Okay.
So later when I see that, I don't get to like curate. But when I look at them and I stare at them, observe them watching the piece, I'm not a mind reader, but I can tell something has been struck in their minds. I've had pieces where people had to look and look and look over again, and everybody had their perspective. But
Yeah.
I say to Nigerians, we are people who try to suppress our intelligence with jokes. Yeah, we don't like to be so serious. We are intelligent people, highly intelligent people, but we suppress them with a lot of jokes, and it's very natural because if you look at most very intelligent people, Hollywood, Nollywood,
Yeah.
they're comedians. Because to create jokes, it means you have to go into the sad things that people experience and twist it
Twisted.
and make it look fun, make it look funny. You will offend people because there are people who cannot see beyond
Beyond
the
what?
sad part and
Yeah.
can't see the humor in sad things. And yes, there are really really sad things that looks like they can't be funny.
Yeah.
But see, we all deal with shit. Whether we talk about it or not, we all go through things. And it's your choice at the end of the day if you want to see the humor in it or you want to dwell in the pain of it. It's your choice.
You're an artist in Nigeria, and we know that the naira is weakening. It keeps getting weakened every day. How do you cope, with the art business and you as an artist, considering the cost of materials?
Yeah. So even prior to the economic melt, sorry about that. Nigerians are still warming up to art.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a few people are getting to understand that it's not just a home decor. It's an investment. It's something that grows. It appreciates with time the value. So they didn't understand that then. Worse now, when people are thinking about how to feed and care for their families, I don't really expect much people to understand art or the value of it or even pay for it. So, as an artist, in all honesty, no, I'm not coping financially fine, but if one does his work, truly and diligently, unknown people will come and buy it. And that's how I've always seen it. And that's how it has always been. It may not be, millions and billions, but someone always comes to buy a piece, and that's it. Because being an artist, it's 21st century, that people have started, the whole money frenzy about art is going on. But being an artist isn't all about, making money entirely. It is good if your work is appreciated with good value, but it's beyond that. It is the life you have chosen. It's as good as being a priest. Okay? You also understand there are certain things you will not be privileged to have, and there are certain things you will be privileged to have.
Of course.
And you must, if you want it truly, you have to give into it. It's all its madness, all its crazy. There's no artist that is entirely normal. Yeah, so let me not say normal, entirely planet Earth societal normal.
I get you.
There's no artist like that. A true artist is beyond these planes. So, economically, I'm not bothered.
Okay.
Really, I know I do good works, and I'm happier when somebody who knows the value buys it and someone who just wants a beautiful piece. I don't just want to give you my piece because it's pretty. Know the value, okay? It's so that I know that you're going to take care of it. You're
Yeah.
not just paying for it because you have the money.
There are different types of artists. There are those who make art, you know, to make quick cash, and there are those who make art because they feel it's part of themselves. You know, so one needs to know where he belongs.
True.
There are artists who just want to make fast buck. Um, this is 2024. Things are hard. What would you say to emerging artists out there? Who want to delve into art or who are new into art or who are coping, very badly with things that are going on. What would you say to them? A piece of advice.
Well, my advice to emerging artists, there's a trail.
Mm.
I've had an exhibition where all my pieces were sold out. I
Mm.
think about 2 or 3 times, and there's a trail. When that happens,
Mm.
I will tell you not to get lost in it, because don't don't be the artist, because your work sells so much and you make a lot of bucks from it. No, that will only want to make you make works for people's enticement and for people's eyes. You're pleasing their sight.
Mm.
You're not making art. Best advice I can give you is, don't lose yourself into the financial aspect of it entirely. It's good to make money. The artist needs to feed, needs to pay his bills, but it's not about that,
Yeah.
truly. So don't lose yourself into that. And it's also a calling. A calling, because artists are not just painters or people who draw. They are creative people. Creative people birth solutions. So I tell people sometimes, I say, look, it's my paintings are like, are like the tiniest form of creativity I can expel at any point.
Mm.
But there are larger forms, there are greater forms. Someone built the Eiffel Tower, you know, and architects are also creative people. So artists are creative people. Da Vinci built the base of Venice, the city on water. So you can do anything with your creativity. It's not just subject to paintings and drawings.
Yeah.
That itself comes with a burden, and you have to be able to hold on to that burden, because it's you telling God or the universe that, okay, this is who I am. I am part of you. I'm part of a creation, and I'm also a creator.
Mm.
You also have to bear the burden of what it is to be a creator. It's not about making the money.
Mm.
It's about waking up the minds of the people to see in themselves that, they are equally godlike, or they are as much as God as they are much of the earth. So that's the best advice I can give them.
Thank you. That's
Yeah.
very insightful. Thank you so much for sharing your mind. And it's really interesting. You know,
Thank
getting
you.
to understand your perspective about art and how you're able to produce your pieces and what goes on through your mind and how you expect people to relate to your art. It's
Thank
quite
you, sir.
intriguing. You know, I look forward to seeing more of your pieces. You know, thanks
You
a lot.
will. You will. You
Thanks
will.
so much. Um, Viewers, you heard what he said. Know the value of your art. Know the kind of artist you are. Have something you stand for. Money is not everything. And the sky is just the beginning. This is what we're going to call it today on Creative Lounge. My name is Ahmed Mohammed Bello. Join us same time, same station next week. Bye for now.